Hello. Let's see who joins me for the live in the RIA meetup group today. I am excited to be doing this with you guys. Hopefully you see that I am on live. I should have tagged you, but I did not. So let me see if I can tag a few people. Okay, there we go. We have some people just up and ready to connect and join. Thank you for coming on and watching the live training tonight that will only be in the RIA meetup. Hey Saul, I see you. And I'm hoping that you guys that join me tonight, you have a notebook and a pen. And as we are teaching, I want you to pay attention to the information and then look at what are you looking to implement from what you learned tonight. Okay, this is for finding cash buyers. That is what tonight's training is all about. So for those that are meeting me on the RIA meetup for the first time, my name is Wendy Lovejoy, Wendy Williams Lovejoy, and I have been in real estate now going on 30 years. I raised my kids in real estate. I took a little break and then got involved in multi-level marketing, created some success there, and decided that my love is real estate, went back to real estate. And so I really encourage you guys to take your real estate career very, very seriously. Take your career very, very seriously, because I posted a 3 circles. The first one was your why, the second was your how, and the third was your what. So real estate is the what. Real estate, hi there, I see you. Good to see you. We haven't talked in a minute, Mr. Sonara. But I'm looking forward to, getting this information to you tonight. I'm going to be on with you for about 30 minutes. And so I want you to really pay attention to the information. So again, the first thing was the why. First circle, the why. The bigger circle is the how. And then the circle that's bigger than that is the how. Most people confuse the importance of real estate. Real estate is the how, but the why is not real estate. So if you think real estate is your why, you're not gonna really have the passion, the commitment to succeed like you should. So I encourage you, focus on your why. Why are you in real estate? If you've been following my trainings, you know I always start with mindset, because if your mind is not right, your actions are not going to be right, and you're not going to commit and do the deals you need to do for your business. In 30 years of being in real estate, I'm promising you that the information I give you guys is very, very helpful, but you've got to implement it. I know people think there's some big secret out there, and if you follow that big secret, you're going to close 1 million deals. Well, the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to give somebody the most of your money, and unless you take what they're teaching you and implement it, it's still going to leave you where you are. And that happens when your why is not important. When you really have a strong why. As I mentioned, when I got into real estate, I was penniless, had no money, not even $25. But when I got into real estate, my why was bigger than me, and my why was my children. Saul, you know Anthony, my children were my why. And at the time, they were in Pampers, and I wanted to give them a great lifestyle. I wanted to move them in the best neighborhood in Queens, according to what the Sunday paper was saying at that time, which was the late 80s, early 90s. And so I studied real estate, and I did the things that I teach you guys. I can only teach you what I've done. I can't make up stuff. I can't tell you that I invested in some program and paid $40,000 and then I was a successful real estate agent. It did invest in programs and I invested in mentors, but I still had to do the work. And I had to make real estate a lifestyle. It's not something that you do when you think about it. People that sing, sing all the time. People that dance, dance all the time. Basketball players play basketball all the time, even on their off season. So when you get that passionate about your why, the real estate will make more sense to you. The real estate is your what. It is the vehicle to get you your why. The how you do it is whatever program you choose, how much heart you put into it, how much commitment you put into it, how much of this is a lifestyle and not just a schedule. And the thing that I look for when I'm dealing with people that I'm coaching and mentoring is, are they giving me excuses or are they getting it done? Are they figuring out how to get it done? Because when you have a mentor and you have somebody that's willing to share information, the last thing they want is all the excuses. They want to know that you're saying, I figured out how to get it done. I figured out how to add another hour into my day so that I could do real estate. If you got to wait till all your kids are sleeping and do your marketing at midnight, and that's what I used to do. I used to do most of my marketing at midnight when everybody was asleep and nobody would be able to interrupt me. That's how I built my Facebook following. I waited till everybody was sleeping and I'd go on Facebook from 12 to 2 o'clock in the morning, just looking for people I could connect with that I wanted to follow me, looking for organizations that I thought would make sense to follow me. And that's what you guys want to do. You don't want to waste your time making excuses. So once you commit to that, one of the things you want to do is find a deal. That's the first thing you want to do. You want to find a deal. And when you find a deal, don't talk yourself out of it. There's some people, you have family and friends that have probate situations going on around you, and you have given yourself the excuse, well, they're not going to sell now. This family member's giving us a hard time. This family member's doing that. So when you have somebody that has experience who says, let's get this deal done, your job should be, how can I connect these two people? How can I connect these people to get the job done? How can I get them in front of an attorney? How can I get them in front of my lender? How can I get them in front of my mentor? Very, very important. So I'm not going to be able to look at all the questions, Sonara, tonight. Because I want to get through the teaching, but I will respond to it after the training if I don't address it during the training. Okay, so the thing I wanted to say is that you want to not talk yourself out of the deal. You want to make sure that you get the deal done. Hey there, pretty lady. So, and she'll tell you, I'm just as hard on my kids. When she was in Pampers when I got into real estate, and now she's a great agent, not only in Atlanta, but pretty soon going to have her own office within a year or so in the New York area, because I always drive the same information I'm sharing with you guys, which is, you got to commit to doing the work. You got to figure out, she has 2 babies. And she carves out time. You got to make your real estate a priority. And then you got to fit it into your lifestyle. You don't want to make excuses. You want to make it a priority. Big difference. So your why is going to drive you to that. And then you perfect the what and the how you're doing it by giving it more hours. So no matter what, you have to find a deal. The only thing that's going to get you to a paycheck is finding a deal. And so, as I mentioned before, some of you have a great opportunity to find a deal because you know of family members that have passed away. Family members, hey there, Mark. Family members who might be going through a foreclosure. You have friends of friends that you know are going through a deal. You might even have close relatives that are, have a property that needs to be in probate or is about to go into foreclosure. Your goal is to get them in front of somebody that would educate them. And let's say you connect them with somebody like me. If I say, let me speak to the person, let's do a three-way together. Don't say, oh, they're not going to speak. Now's not a good time because they're going through this, they're going through that. Because they're going to turn around and they're going to find somebody who is willing to drive them into a conversation, push them into a conversation, drag them into a conversation, and by the time they speak to you, you're going to find out they're in contract with somebody else. So your goal is to make sure you are working on how do you make a deal happen for you this week. One is your conversations. I know some people say you should not even think about doing a wholesaling deal until you find cash investors. Well, I've been marketing for many years. That's one of the main courses that I took when I was in college, which is well over 20 years now that I was in college. I took fashion design, and I had a minor in business, and then I went on and took another minor in marketing, and then focused on everything marketing possible. So marketing is really the business you're in. You're marketing. Anytime you're selling a product, if you don't practice and perfect your marketing, nothing's going to happen. But if you don't have a deal, you have nothing to market. It makes no sense to build a buyer's list and you don't have a deal. So you got to focus on getting a deal. You got to make a deal happen for you. Call your 10 closest family members. Call nurses you might know. Call, real estate agents and say, can you help me find a deal? Can you look on your old or expired listings? Do you have anything off market that you can show me? Don't limit yourself into your own little zip code to try to find a deal. But once you find a deal, once you have a deal in the palm of your hands, once you've put something in contract, if you are coachable, then it will work for you. But if you're going to find a deal and then you only have a week to close the deal, and you don't even know a title company, you don't know a real estate agent, you don't know a lender, you won't let somebody help you with coaching you, you're not going to really have success. You're probably going to lose that deal, but you're going to learn what you didn't know and what you need to know when you lose that deal. So I always encourage your first deal, what you want to do is try to get more time. Get the most time possible for yourself on that deal. If you've never done a deal before, find somebody and work the deal with them. Talk to your agent. Say, can I do a deal with you? Talk to whoever you have mentoring you and ask them, if I brought a deal to the table, will you help me with the deal and we could split the profit? Be willing to give something away so that you can learn and then you can have the experience under your belt. Most people that get into real estate investing, they ignore that. But if years ago you watched the show with Puffy when he had the young people and he was mentoring them. He was teaching them the same way he learned. He became one of the greatest in okay, let me focus on what I am sharing us all. Okay, and then like I said, I will answer all this information, all these questions later. I want you to focus on getting the information. I try to be as honest as possible, and I really want you to understand that mentorship helps. And I'm not saying I have to be your mentor, because I'm not the best mentor for everybody. I like people that follow exactly the coaching information and then they walk it out. But what I want you to get is the concept of what I'm saying. So what Puffy would do is he taught them the same way he learned. He was an intern, which means somebody mentored him, and he was working for free. And that time that he was working for free, he didn't look at it as a waste of time. He looked at it as, I am learning, I am getting information, I am getting experience, I am building connections, because all his mentors exposed them to the relationships they already had. And so most people are getting into real estate. Out of every 100, 13 succeed. And the 13 that succeed are the ones that are willing to invest in making and perfecting their what and their how. Okay, not their why. They already have the why. The why is, why did you get into real estate? The how is you know, the what is the vehicle. Are you going to wholesale? Are you going to fix and flip? Are you going to buy and hold? And then the how is the energy, attitude, information, and learning you put into it. So that is what I wanted to share on the mindset part of tonight. But you need to find a deal. Once you find a deal, if you analyze the deal correctly, buyers will come, cash buyers will come. You can speak to people and find cash buyers, but you need to have a deal first, because if you have a cash buyer, what some people say is, if you have cash buyers, then you can say to the cash buyer, well, you know what, I want to know what kind of houses you look for, what kind of price point you want, and then I will get that house for you. But the thing is, you are only working for that one person. You're working for that one person. That's like opening up a boutique and you only have one customer. They're going to buy something, but there's no guarantee they're going to buy right away. Whereas if you turn around and you find a deal, you put a deal together first, you put something in contract, and you put the time out there for yourself to get the timing, to get the amount of time you need to close the deal, then your team will help you to close it, and you can build that as you do it. Once you put it in contract, there's going to be a title company that's going to be checking all the information. There's going to be, hopefully, you know, an agent that might have cash buyers already. You might know a lender that has cash buyers. You may be talking already to other investors. But once you find the deal, then you want to qualify some cash buyers. And most of them, you also are going to put an ad out for your property. And I always say, don't put the exact address out yet, unless you're doing it maybe in this group. But don't put your address out to a community where you don't know, because then people, especially if you don't have a strong contract and strong rapport with the seller, because I can't tell you how many sellers will say, well, other investors have reached out to me. Some say they'll close me faster. Some say they'll, give me more money, but I'm going to continue to work with you. So you want to promote your property. One of the ways to promote your property is you put bandit signs out. New York, they're not illegal. Some states they are. You put bandit signs out, and they basically have the property. You might put the area of the property or the street, on it, and you say this is a investor special, or a good handyman special, urgent, need to sell it now, and you put that there. Or you may put a Craigslist ad, or you may promote it on social media. But you want to get to the point where you're promoting your deals and not waiting to just go and have an open house and sit in front of it, or get people to your home. That's going to work too, but I want to show you some other ways tonight. So when you are speaking to people, one of the reasons you're doing the bandit signs, you're doing the ads, is you're going to end up building your cash buyers list, because you put cash deal, or fix and flip, or handyman special. These are all industry words that tell people that this house is something that you're either wholesaling, or they got to buy it cash. And so now even agents will bring their cash buyers, because their cash buyers will give them their commission. You can't give, list the property with a real estate agent if you're wholesaling it. But if they have cash buyers, their cash buyer will pay them. So you want to see what ad is working for you really well, and you ask them, where did you see the information about this property? And then you ask them, well, what kind of properties do you look for? And you make a note of that. You want to get a CRM. You want to get some sort of a format of saving your cash buyers and any excuse me, any other people that you're working with, including sellers, some way that it's easy to follow up with them. So you want to ask them, what kind of properties do they prefer? How many bedrooms, single family, multifamily, condos, co-ops? What do they normally look for? Because you'd be surprised. I know some cash investors that only buy $1 million condos, got to be penthouses. That's all, because they focus on high-end Airbnb. And don't let somebody tell you that Airbnb and hotels are going to go out of business, because they're saying in 2021 the Airbnb market is going to skyrocket because people are going back to work. Hotels are going to skyrocket, and there's going to be more foreclosures and more probates. So people are going to need alternative short stay living, which Airbnb covers. So you want to ask them, and what areas are you interested in? Because now you're qualifying this investor. You're not just looking to see if the deal you have will work for them, which you hope it will. And by questioning them this way, you might know somebody else that has a deal. Because here's the thing about wholesaling. I can wholesale you a deal, and then you can wholesale it to Shannon. Shannon can turn around and wholesale it to Mark. Mark can turn around and get it to Saul. If there's enough room in there for everybody to make money, it's doable. So your goal is to see who is this cash buyer looking, what kind of deal are they looking for? So you want to ask them, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, do they have a square footage in mind? I also like to ask them, how much work are you willing to do? Because I have some investors that tell me, if I'm not going to make this amount on my return, or I don't do anything over $50,000, or I don't do anything under $1 million, you're looking to see what your cash buyers are willing to do. What areas are you looking to invest in? Are you interested in investing outside of that area? Because if they say, well, I only want to invest in my own zip code, ask them, what is that zip code? And then you ask them, well, if I had another deal, if somebody says to me, I only want to invest in Cambria Heights, Queens, New York, I'll ask them, what if I have a deal in downtown Atlanta? Are you open to it? And some people say, yes, I am. Some people say, no, I'm not. I'll go maybe to New Jersey. And so if I know of a deal in New Jersey, I will share it with them. So you want to ask them that. And what is your price range? What price range do you want to find, or do you want to work with, so that that you would take the deal right away? Because they know who their hard money lenders are. They know how much money they have in the bank. I was speaking to a young lady last week, and she interviewed me for something, and she said she only wants properties that are $10,000 or less. And I said to her, the goals you say you have and the price point you're looking at, it's not going to happen like that. Because here's the thing. When you look for properties that are $10,000 in certain parts of Georgia, they're going to need a lot of work, and the kind of tenants you're going to get may give you drama and a struggle, especially if you don't have a team. So it's so much more to real estate investing than I got to find a property and I'm going to make $2,000, $10,000 or so. That's why we give you this information. Anything that stands out for you, that should be the thing that you want to work with. How much profit do you need to see in a property? And the reason you want to ask them that, because say you find a house for $100,000, but it needs $50,000 worth of work, and they could sell it for $400,000, and they're telling you that they need to make $100,000 profit. Well, that's a good deal for them. But if they tell you they need to find they only do deals with $100,000 profit, but you find them a deal for $10,000, and then they put in another, $50,000, but the deal is only worth $120,000, they're not going to make $100,000. That may be a deal for somebody else. So when you're asking the investors, you're not asking them to eliminate them. You're asking them to see which deals that you have access to will work best for them. And as you are doing your marketing campaign, you will now say, if you come across this deal, I can give it to that person. What types of investing do you like? Do you like quick flips? Do you like things where you're going to buy and hold it? Do you like things that are going to take time for you to rehab it and maybe hold it for a few months and then resell? What kind of stuff are you looking for? Are you looking for something that you can rehab within a year, or are you open to something that'll take you 3 years to close it out? Are you looking more for properties that have square footage that you can add? I have an investor that buys 2-bedroom homes, but then what he does is he's built a really good connection with the buildings department and contractors and all of that, and architects, everybody, and he adds another floor. So he turns a 2-bedroom 1-bath into a 4-bedroom 2.5-bath. So he adds square footage, and that's what he likes to do. Some people say, no, I don't want properties like that. The other thing you want to find out is, where is their money, because that's important. You never want to work with a buyer that does not want to give you their proof of funds and prove to you that they can afford it. Just as a real estate agent, I encourage them, don't take your buyer out until you know your buyer can get a loan, or at least has started the process with the lender, or you've connected them with your team and your team is processing a loan for them. People that have been doing real estate for a minute, they have built teams. So that's why it's important for you to connect to people that have done real estate, so that you can get access to their teams, and then you can build from there. You also want to ask, are you a cash buyer, or do you need extra time, or do you need help in finding the finances? And you're listening to the information, you're collecting information. Remember I said that when we were training for doing the qualifying motivated sellers? In the beginning, you're just collecting information. You don't want to turn around and say, well, I can't work with you. You're not even ready, and you got me looking for houses, but you don't even have the money. That's not your energy. Your energy right now is, I'm collecting information. How quickly will you be able to close? You'd be surprised. Some people literally have the cash sitting in a bank account. Some people can take it out of a 401k. Some people will take an insurance policy and pull it out. Some people have a family member that can write the check. So you want to know, where is this money coming from, and how quickly do they want to close? And then you want to ask them, how many properties do they want to purchase in the next year? Because if they tell you, I only do 1 a year, then that's fine. But what if they told you, I do 5 to 10 houses a year? You know you have a source that's going to give you a check 5 to 10 houses a year. So you want to build a relationship with them. What is the level of repairs you're willing to do? Are you looking for something that's just cosmetic, where you're going to do some painting? Maybe you're going to, put some nice landscaping in the front. Or are you willing to do something with a complete rehab, gut out? I had a property that I was wholesaling about 2 years ago, and it had a huge foundation problem. I had plenty of investors that said, no, I would never do a foundation problem. I stay away from those. Then I had other investors that said, that's all I look for, because nobody wants those. So I get good deals with that. And so you want to find out, what level of work are they willing to do? Some will say, I stay away from things with mold issues. Some will say, oh, that's not a problem for me. I have mold experts that I work with all the time. So again, you're collecting information. I work with a number of buyers, and whoever comes up with the cash first gets the deal. And, are you okay with that? You want them to know that they're not the only person you're working with. And one of the reasons you want them to know that is that they do not waste your time haggling. Some investors, you tell them the property, they can only get it for 100,000. They'll say, no, 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 I want it for 70. But they know that 100,000, it's still a good deal. So if you tell them other people will, are looking at the property too, now they'll offer you what you're looking for a lot faster. And know your spread in the deal. Know your spread in the deal. That's very, very important. You also want to make sure that you are asking them, how quickly they want to close and what is the average rehab they've done before. Because if they don't have any experience and you're giving them something that needs a lot of work, you're messing yourself up. You want to give deals to a cash buyer that's going to close fast so you can build your cash flow. And then you want to ask people that are buying or renting anything that questions like, are you a cash buyer? Can you close quickly if you purchased a property? Are you willing to hold the property, or are you willing to invest outside of your area? Me, I'll go anywhere there's a deal. I'll go to New York, New Jersey, Florida. I'll even go to South Africa for a good deal. But some people just want their own zip code. So you want to ask that. And what is the return you're looking for? You also want to ask them, are you going to look to rehab? And will you manage the property, or are you open to using a property manager? Because when you are working, especially as an agent, with somebody that does a few deals, it opens you up to getting a few deals from them. So these are some of your qualifying questions. And if you want, I will post this on tomorrow, sometime tomorrow on the RIA meetup, and you can ask these questions and add more. But remember, you are building rapport. And so again, the most important thing is to go find a deal. So if you're doing yellow letters, keep doing them. If you're doing postcards, keep doing them. If you're promoting and marketing on social media and driving people to open up conversations with you, keep doing that. If you are promoting, remember the last time we did a call like this, I said you should be putting one of those We Buy Houses ads in Craigslist and just promote, and then start looking. Look online for deals. Look and see, start holding conversations, even on Instagram, and make it easy for people to connect with you. And if they ask you something that you don't know, feel free to connect with me, and I'll be happy to help you answer it so that you can get a deal going. I would love to see everybody get a deal by the end of the month. And if you're marketing, if you're making this a priority to find a deal, I even did a post the other day saying connect with Shannon. Now, it doesn't mean that she's only going to find you deals in Atlanta or New York. But one of the things I like about those two communities is that there's a lot of good deals in both if you connect with the right person. And as somebody that has relationships, they will probably have an off-market deal they can share with you, but they can also find deals on the MLS because there's some expired deals, there's some deals that you have been on the market too long, and sellers are willing to do something with them. There's also short sales out there, but you want to connect and find a deal. That's the whole goal. You gotta have a deal. If you have nothing in contract now, what is it going to take for you to get something in contract within the next 7 days? One of it is finding and talking to motivated sellers, and then putting the contract together and then going out to market it. Well, I hope this was helpful to you. It will be up on the RIA Meetup page, so you can watch it on replay. And if you have left a comment here, I will answer it. Some of them I will just text you directly and answer it, and then some of them I will answer online. With that being said, I have to go on. I have another call at 8:30, guys. So thank you for hanging out with me. Talk to you soon. Let's make this happen. Bye. Thanks for joining me, okay?